At JM Growth Co., we make business growth simple for everybody. I've spent over $1 million in my own personal self-development, and I'm giving back to the community and showing them exactly how they can grow their business to 3 levels of success. $1 million in sales, $1 million in profit, and scale and sell if that's what they're after. So if you're interested in actually going from 6 to 7 figures, watch all the way to the end, because this might be the one video that changes your life. All right, so let's fully understand what is 6 and 7 figures, because most people get this confused all the time. 6 figures just means how many actual zeros and digits you have here. So this is an example of 6 figures. Now if you're at $900,000, you're still technically at 6 figures. But the goal for you and for all of our clients at JM Growth Co., at least level 1, is to get to 7 figures itself, which means now you can go everywhere from 1 million all the way up to 9 million, and ultimately get you to 8-figure business, which is now 10 million and beyond, right? But in this video, I'm gonna be giving you 3 different things on what you need to do if you wanna go from a 6-figure business to a 7-figure business itself. So, thing number 1 that you actually have to focus on is going to be super clear on what you want. Did you know only 4% of businesses actually make $1 million in sales or more? That's right. A very, very small percent of all businesses in this country right now make more than $1 million in sales. Now, what's actually stopping them? It's not their business, because pretty much I have the belief any business can actually get to $1 million in sales. That's why it's just level 1 of our program here. But all that's stopping them is 2 things. Either the business owner has the wrong psychology or the wrong mindset, or they lack the skills necessary to actually get yourself moving forward. So that being said, step number 1 is going to be clear on you wanting $1 million. So in order for you to actually make $1 million in sales in your actual business, step number 1 is do the $1 million math. So this is what I want you to do. All right, so say you made $100,000 last year, and out of that $100,000, you actually had 100 customers, which means that each one of your customers paid you about $1,000, okay? So you had 100 customers, each customer paid you $1,000. That's what got you to the $100,000. Now the step number 1 that we talked about is be super clear on what you want. You want this $1 million, but just be more clear. So in this case, if you just kept your actual $1,000 the same and you didn't charge the customers anymore, how many customers would we need to actually get to $1 million? So at this point, all you gotta do is math. So you're going to take out your trusty calculator. You're gonna do $1 million divided by 1,000, because that's how much your customer actually pays, and you're actually going to need 1,000 customers. Now, when you get 1,000 customers per year is your goal, right? We're going to divide that by 12, and that's going to give you 83 customers per month. You're going to need 1,000 divided by 52 is going to be about 19 customers per week. And then, when it comes to by the day, 19 divided by 7, it gives you about 2.7 to 3 customers per day. So now, in this business, if you're making $1,000 per customer, to get to $1 million, step number 1 is understanding the math for your business. So I want to get to $1 million in sales. I need 1,000 customers a year, 83 customers a month, 19 customers a week, and about 3 customers per day. Now, how much easier it is now when it comes to, okay, I need 3 customers per day. All right, for step number 2, you're gonna need an irresistible offer. You need 2 things. You're gonna have to know exactly who your audience is, who's your customer, and what are their fears and what are their desires. Because once you know those 2 things, you know exactly how to create an irresistible offer that reduces the risk and gives them everything that they want. Because if you know exactly what they want and they're willing to exchange money for it, and you know exactly what they fear, now you can give them more of the good stuff and take away more of the bad stuff itself, right? So a good offer should make the customers feeling like, okay, offer, there's gonna be things that make them happy, things that make them sad, that they're afraid of. So a good offer should give them a lot of this stuff and should give them less of this stuff. So different examples is gonna be like money back guarantees could be a good offer. That's gonna get rid of the bad stuff. We can actually guarantee success is gonna be a cool offer there too. There's many different offers that you can actually make, but think about it. You want to create an offer where the person when seeing this is like, oh my God, this person knows exactly what my problem is. I feel so comfortable with this individual. He knows exactly how to fix it. And now we're able to kind of move forward with this individual itself, right? So We give them more happy, you give them less sad, that gets you your irresistible offer. Super, super simple stuff. If you want more details, check out our website, jmgrowthco.com. We can kind of help you out there. Now, once you actually have that irresistible offer, then the last thing is actually just going to be get in front of more people. So in order to do that, you have to know exactly who your audience is. People are super cool because people like to hang out with people like them. You've been able to, based on our business calculations, you are able to get in front of 100 of these people already. Now you have to think, okay, who are my top 10% of clients, my top 20% of clients? What do they all have in common? What problems are they actually trying to solve? And now you're thinking, okay, and where do they hang out? So at this point, since you've already sold these 100 clients in this case, at that point, you're going to actually interview some of them and you're going to be like, hey, I really love working with you. What do you love most about our business? That's going to help you shape that irresistible offer. And now, what do you don't like most about this business? That's also going to help you shape this irresistible offer. Why did you sign up with one of us instead of a competitor potentially? Now you're starting seeing it from their point of view. Once you fully understand that offer piece, now it's time to start asking them, hey, how did you hear about us? Where did you go through? Because there's one of two ways that customers will actually see you. You can actually go hunting for them, or you can go fishing. Now hunting means, okay, this customer here, they're all hanging out in this area right over there. They're hanging out online, they're hanging out there, here, and you're going to physically looking for them. The way to go fishing for them is going to be like, okay, what is the customer's journey? So if this customer here has a problem, so for instance, one of the businesses that I own is a CDL school. So in this case, I didn't have money when I was starting, and I was like, okay, if I put myself in my customer's shoes, I want to get a CDL license, how do I actually increase the good stuff and get rid of the bad stuff? Well, we can guarantee that they walk away with their CDL license by giving them over 100 hours of training, plus unlimited tries at the test until they pass, and they only pay one price. So that was my irresistible offer. At that point, now it comes down to, okay, where are they hanging out? I had no money back then. So I say, okay, I don't know exactly physically where they're hanging out, but I know what their process looks like. So most of them are going to go on YouTube. They're going to search, okay, how do I get my CDL license? How do I actually pass my road test? How do I do this or how do I do that? So for instance, my job then was to go and make videos on YouTube itself. And once I made the videos on YouTube, they're already searching this stuff. My job is to get in front of them. This is called fishing, right? And then goes to my website, and then they fill out a form, and then all of a sudden, now it's time to give them a call because they actually went through the journey, fishing. Now in other businesses, for instance, if I'm looking for business owners to help them grow and scale, I know where they're hanging out. They're going to conferences. I know where their businesses are, so we can do things like cold call, or we can actually go to where they're hanging out or online, maybe different Facebook groups or something like that. And now that's called hunting, where now you're bringing your offer to them and they weren't physically looking for your offer itself. So those are really the only three things you need to go from a 6-figure business to a 7-figure business. And the three things are fully understand exactly what the math looks like to get to a 7-figure business, come up with an irresistible offer, and then make sure you get in front of more of the actual ideal audience that you want. And as long as you do those three things, getting to $1 million is super, super simple. Now, of course, if you don't have a bunch of the other stuff necessary in your actual business, at that point, a lot of things will break. So if you actually want help on how to fundamentally make sure that your business is structured enough so you can go through 3 levels of success, $1 million in sales, $1 million in profit, and scale and sell without breaking along the way, then I definitely invite you to check out our website, jmgrowthco.com, where we can actually show you different programs on how we can coach you through real life scenarios on exactly how to move the needle in your business without working harder, but definitely working smarter. So if you are interested, check out our website at jmgrowthco.com, and let's make business growth simple.